So there is an encounter happened to me with a spirit.
You mean an entity?
Yes. She told me the exact date and year I visited Mahakaleshwar Mandir
In Ujjain.
Ujjain, and she pulled my hand and she said,
Do these entities also have sexuality?
yes, I'm helping these days also. Then I suddenly saw women appearing from it.
From the black cloud?
Yes, and the woman looked at him and said, I'll take him and I'll take you along with him.
In one night, you finished 10,25,000 jobs.
Yes, we can do in 1 second.
How? You've been an Aghori Sadhak?
I know, like how to do a Aghori sadhanas without getting into the places. I don't have to go to Shamshan, I can create here. There, I went to the casino. Thing became so worse there, you know. Like wherever I was keeping the money, I was winning.
You were able to hack the gamble?
Yes.
You became obsessed with celibacy?
If I had a wrong thought about anyone, I used to light the matches and burn my thighs. I had to punish myself.
I think this is the first time in the history of TRS where we've shot an episode over the span of 2 to 3 months. We shot this episode in 2 parts because being in the presence of Kapil Kumar Bhaskar was a little overwhelming for me the first time around. I felt like I wasn't able to extract his story the way I wanted to. It was too heavy a conversation, which is why we had to split it into these 2 episodes that you're getting within this 1 episode. So in the first part, it's about the beginnings of a story. And the second part is the continuation from that point onwards. It's not an easy listen. It's very much in the domain of the horror podcast that we've created on TRS. I warn you before you begin listening to this one. It's not a very comfortable listen, but if you're someone who's enjoyed the horror episodes of TRS, you will enjoy this episode as well. It's Kapil Kumar Bhaskar making his debut on TRS. Kapil Kumar Bhaskar, sir, welcome to the Ranveer Show.
Thank you so much.
How are you, sir?
Good. And how are you?
I am in a place in life today where I've just submitted to the flow of life. I asked my production team how they got this arranged, and they told me that a few months ago I had sent your profile to them and said that I really want this person. But I don't have a memory of sending your profile. So I don't remember whether it was a friend of mine who connected me to you or I discovered something. But when moments like this happen in my own journey, I know that they're meant to happen at this point in my timeline.
When you plan something, it is more artificial. And so there are certain things which happen naturally, like meeting my guru, meeting certain people. It happens. So when I received your call from your office, so somebody called me and said, we are calling for Ranveer Show. So that time I didn't know, knew that. So I immediately said, no, I don't want to get into all this in public thing. I'm happy. I'm a retired person. So I'm happy with my family. I don't want to get into all this. So after some few months, actually, one of my friends, she lives in Canada. She spoke about you. And suddenly I said, oh, I know this guy. I've heard about this guy. Then she said, he's a very nice guy, this and that. Then I went through all your videos and thing, and I find you a nice person, so I can. That's it.
Thank you, sir. But what do you think is the reason the universe is making you and me meet?
See, there are many things. I don't know. It has to be public or not because people don't understand much things. I'm not blaming people. It is just that whether you are in that consciousness or not. So there are reasons. I don't know. I have to say it like this, but obviously we were supposed to meet, so I'm here. That's it. And there is something.
Okay. All right. Why don't we actually begin this conversation with your story?
I was like you. So life changed with the time. I'm talking about somewhere 89, 90. I'm an old man now. I'm 54. So dad got retired from me, so we had a house. You know. So where we live, there is two Neher bolte hain na, jo it goes to the Agra canal. So that was like a little forest area. There was nothing. There were like farms over there. So I was crossing in the late night. So there is an encounter happened to me with a spirit. So that is I mentioned in my book in a very detailed way
An encounter with a spirit.
with a spirit.
Where is this, sir?
This is in Faridabad. So I don't want to talk much about my where I live. So that time it was like, pura kheti piche, and there was two canals or like, canals. Used to cross that area. So suddenly one day starting my life, I had a very weird experience that night. It was like closer to Diwali. I still remember. This was my parents. Like I had a room which was in the veranda. There was a gap, so I used to live there because you used to put a lot of music, and my parents like, oh my god, you stay there. So one night I lie down, and I saw a black, like color, you can say a ball or like a cloud, like it's moving in my room. So I just observed it. What is it? So I couldn't make it out. Like I opened my door. I saw maybe there must be a smoke or something, or maybe my eyes are okay, and then went to bed. This happened. So one day, what happened is I was sleeping around. Still, I know around it was 1 o'clock. I was start shivering and like experiencing a lot of fear. So I saw like this ball is like moving. And that night I don't know, I got scared. It was because of the energy which wants me to get fear. Then I suddenly saw women appearing from it.
From the black cloud?
Yes. And she just stood in front of me. And she looked at me. Initially, I find it like, okay, she is good or whatever.
She was good looking.
Yeah, good looking. And that I was numb, I don't know what is happening. I was not in my senses. So there's a bamboo chair was there. So this bamboo chair is really also important. She came and sat next there. She looked at me, and I'm just cutting it short. And she wanted me to come with her. So I said, where to go? Like where I have to go.
She wanted you to come with her.
Yes. Then this thing, and I wanted to run away that night from my room. I got very scared, very, very scared.
Can we pause the story a little bit?
Please.
Can you describe a little more?
About this woman?
Yeah. What did she look like?
She was a young girl, not very old. She had a long hair, nice. Like, I've heard in movies, used to get fun, okay, bhoot safed kapda mein aata hai. And I used to like laugh on those people. What rubbish. And I got very scared that night.
What was she wearing?
I saw her like, it was in my room. She just looked like a white. She was wearing a white sari or something. Because it's long back, she was wearing a white sari, and she was there.
Did you feel attracted to her?
See, no, I got scared initially. Yes, obviously, when I looked at her, there was something which felt like I was getting pulled towards her. But that pull was a different kind of a pull, which I understand now. But that pull was not natural. It was not natural because there was a lot of fear also. There was no calmness. I want to run away from that room. So I tried all my best, to get up from the bed. I couldn't get up from the bed. And suddenly, I was opt out from, I don't know what happened, I saw going with her. And going where, I don't know. Just, it was so lightning fast. And then I'm somewhere else.
One thing, you followed her.
No, she pulled me like that. I was just like.
Your physical body?
Not
your physical body.
Yes.
So your astral body.
So, but I don't know that moment, like whether I was walking physically or I was going, on the energy body. Now I can talk. This is the energy body or this is the physical body.
As in, this experience was happening with your energy body, actually.
Yes, because I saw her. She was there. So and with immediately I was not there. Then I saw like going with her somewhere. And that moment it was so real. I don't know whether I had a physical body or not. Right. Now we can discuss like this that I was not physical there. But in that moment, it it was not that my body is there and I'm here. It doesn't work like this. That is my reality. Because what is reality? It is also a very different thing to, it's a big thing to talk. So that was my reality that time, I would say. So I was there. So if you'll say my energy body, okay, let's say it's energy body or my physical body. So who I am, I don't know whether I'm energy body or a physical body,
Sure.
right? Okay. I knew this much that I was there. I was walking with her. In reality, so went to a place, saw many different things, people suffering, things like that. And she wanted me to cross a certain area, or she took me and she wanted me to cross this. So I mentioned that thing also. So I said, okay. Uh, Initially, I was very scared. So I'm just, this keep happening. And one day, she really pushed me to get into that, to cross this
You mean
area.
this happened repeatedly every day?
Yes, 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 yes.
So you would see a black cloud, a woman would.
Then later on, it start happening. Same. I'll tell you what happened. So this woman told me to cross a small river kind of a energy. I have just said like, let's say it is a river. Just told me to go. The moment I went in there, so I just pulled down. She never pulled me beyond that river. She was standing and she said, "You cross this." So the moment I just stood there, just like drowning in that, then suddenly somebody pulled me out of that. And this man, very, very powerful. I can still remember that man, not in that women that much. A very strong person holding like some stick in the hand, very long hairs and things like that. He asked me, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I don't know what I am doing." He said, "Go back." The moment he said, like, I was on my bed and like, what happened? I was very scared. So this happened, kept happening. So I didn't know what to do because my family, like, what is this you're talking? And I was quiet.
One second, sir. After this experience where that powerful man pulled you out and sent you back to your body,
Yes.
did that woman come back to your room?
No, I didn't see her then.
After that, she didn't
Yes,
come
I'll
back.
tell you what happens. Why this? Then what I start observing later on. It was the third time. Yes. So same thing happened. This guy told me, the who pulled me, he said, "This is the last time I'm doing it. And if you come back here, I'm sorry I won't be able to save you."
Why did you go back
It
the
was
second time?
not in my hand. I whenever I used to come into my room and sleep, and this used to happen. So this one thing, one night is over. This incident, fine. Next morning I got up. What is happening? I'm scared. What is this? Maybe this is nonsense. This will not happen. I never believed in ghost, and this doesn't happen. You're gone sick. And that time also I started my work. Also I was working. So this kept happening. One day I didn't sleep. Okay, I will not sleep. Then how long I will not sleep? I never spoke to my parents about this. Then second time, same thing happened. The third time when it happened, that made me really, that was a very painful experience I had. This guy told me, "Don't come here. You will be dead. I can't save you." The gentleman who saved me from that river.
Why painful?
Because that the little hope I had, like I can come out of this. So when I got this experience that I'm not going to come back from this, that was very scary for me. Then I decided not to sleep. Then I was working that time in a company. This was an American company, had an office in India. So there's a very, very big American store actually. So I used to sit in the night and then start recalling when I'm facing this problem. So initially I told you 1 o'clock, right? Then I realized from 1 to 2 o'clock, this entire thing happens. Whenever I used to get, back to my bed, I used to see it's 2 o'clock. So I started realizing that during 1 to 2 o'clock time, these basic problems are occurring. So I stopped sleeping. Few days, having coffee, and then I'll go to my bed 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then my parents like, what are you doing? you know, I don't know. I have some work things like this. So one day, what happened? I was working in the office. So this good friend of mine, right? So I have written his name Aman, but his not true name is not Aman. So I got a call from the reception. There was no mobile calls, so somebody said like, "Yo, couple, there is a call for you." He then the first thing he said, "I'm not fine." I said, "What happened to you?" He says, "I'm having a very high fever." And then he asked me, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes." "Why are you asking me this?" He said, "Do you have a bamboo chair in your room?" The bamboo chair came to like my room like few weeks back. So this friend Aman never visited me. That time that was a gift came to me from Arunachal Pradesh from one of my uncle. He was a deputy commissioner there. So the chair came, said, "You must have come to my house. You must be." Said, "No, no, I have not. You can ask your mom. I never came to your house when you were not there." So he told me like about the dream. He said, last night I had a dream. I saw same woman, he explained me. And she came to my dream and she said, "Isko to main leke jaungi, tere ko bhi leke jaungi. I'll take him and also I'll take you along with him." And he got so scared. And I said, "What?" And we were young, couldn't believe this. Yeah, let's meet in the evening. Then I was like, in a trouble, and all this. Then we find out how to solve this problem. So one friend to the other friend, and somebody knew some tantric Babaji or something. So we reached there. So this guy, I've written a very big, complete detail. He looked at me and he told me my problem. And he told me this is a woman, young girl, and he told me that she was raped and killed in that area. I asked her why she's after me. He started laughing. He said, "She must have found you a very handsome man. So she's with you now. She wants to take you." I got very scared. Do I'm going to die? He said, "Don't worry, I'll do something." So this was the experience actually. Uh, Changed my life actually because I'm an extremist basically. I never believed in let's go to the temple and do anything. So then it started making me realize that there is something more to life. It is not that when I'm going to die, I'm going to become nothing. It is not true.
What was that line that you crossed? You said something like a river.
Yeah. So when I spoke to this person, this tantric, so he told me this is mentioned in our books. This is called as a river. I don't know, Vetarni, or he told me if you cross that.
Vetarnya Nadi.
Yes. So it is mentioned in Garud Puran, right?
Yeah.
So if you cross this and see, then you won't be able to come back. So it's good that you have not crossed and you were lucky, you somebody saved you. Yes, somebody saved me. All right, I've come back. See, why I'm not saying that is the exact that river. The fact is that I don't know that the explanation of the tantric. I can only say what I have experienced. I'm not a person who's going to say this is written in the book. I have lived my life with my own experiences. And for me, my life is only me and my experience, not somebody's experience.
Sure.
Your experience cannot help me, right? It can be a story, that's it. So my experiences are just like a story to you. But how my experiences affected my life, my journey, that is important to me, right?
Have you ever thought of the being that saved you from that river?
Sorry?
You said a powerful man with a danda came and helped you.
Yes. So now, with the time, I understand how there are many high beings, uh, which are connected to me, to you, and everyone. It is not about this lifetime, whether how much you have practiced or prayers and things like this. It is not that if I pray too much, then this will happen and that will happen. But definitely, there is someone who's taking care of all of us. But if you say, oh, that is the supreme thing, no, it is too far, right? There are many, many things, many things. You know, we think we are living here multiple, and we live in multiple dimensions also. I had these experiences also. People have experiences also. So why I start believing these things, that these are true, not because I'm somebody who is like, some very big great master or something. I've started experiencing when my confidence become like, I can actually trust myself when my friends start telling me, because the first experience, if my closest friend have, अगर उसने फोन नहीं किया होता तो it would have been like just a story or a dream. But it was happening simultaneously to two people, and we both were suffering. And after meeting this something, things changed actually in a very, very major way.
Did you meet the woman again?
No,
Never in life.
never in my life. I don't want to meet her. Now she will not come to me, although.
Because you have protection on you now?
See, it is not protection. See, we all are protected. It is not that we are not protected. You, me are sitting here. Otherwise, your body is integrated right now because of some energy. All these atoms and things are together because of something. Otherwise, there is no reason how can they remain united together. So there is no glue, right? So we all are protected, but this is all a play. It's a fun, it's a game. It is a game of power, game of energy. As you and like we live in this world, we want to be powerful. In the sense, whether by knowledge, by money, by physical strength, by fame. So it is like this. So in this last so many of you, like practicing. It is all the game of power. That's it. Whether good power, bad power. But for me, there is no good power. There's a not bad power. Everybody wants someone. If a spirit, if today, if I think about that woman or that spirit or the soul, when I'm going to die, I'm going to be like that, right? And if somebody's feeling alone, right? Maybe she wanted somebody, right? And nobody was able to help her. Maybe this was her destiny. This is the way she wanted to be, got liberated. And God bless her,
Sorry, I'm asking you this.
Yes, please.
Do these entities also have sexuality?
Yes, definitely. I have many people I'm helping these days also, women, men, but you'll be surprised. I, like 2-3 years back, I met a lady. She's a professor. I don't want to take her name. So I told her, like, you have a partner. She said, yes, I have a partner, but not in the physical form. I said, I can help you to remove that. She said, no. That spirit, that he is very, very sweet soul. And I'm very happy with her. And you'll be surprised, doctors, engineers, middle-aged people, old-aged people, young. I met so many people, they have experienced these things. But they can't talk openly, I know people are going to laugh at me, but not from in here, from in India, but all over the world. I've spoken to so many people having so many experiences, but there is a huge number of people, they can't experience this thing. So when the quantity matters, that is the thing. And there is no scientific evidences. It is my experience. So people will say, oh, you have gone mad. That's it. After reading my book, one person called me from Singapore. He was like near about 70 years. He said, I want to tell you something. I said, yes, please. He said, every night when I sleep, there's somebody who comes and sit on my chest. And he's a good businessman, very nice person. He said, like, never able to tell anybody this thing because people will think I'm mad. So people generally think you are mad because there is no explanation to it, right? But it doesn't mean that people are not going through things. So it is very easy to,
Dismiss somebody else's experience as their madness.
it is life. I'll not say these are experience. And like, people think, oh, this is the way they are living. You know, there are so many people, they have really suffering with things. And what they say, okay, go to a neurologistic, doctor, neuro doctor, and get medicine. Things doesn't work. Yes, there are people who are they have psychological problems, no doubt about it. But it is not every time that there is only a physical, neurological problem, right?
We've had like people who would be called exorcists or ghost hunters or tantrics on the show. And all of last year, 2022, the theme of the show was horror and supernatural and all that. I've got an understanding of that world. The one thing I know about that world is that when you talk about something like ghosts, bhoot, they are living a very difficult reality. It's a perpetual state of thirst, it's a perpetual state of hunger, it's a perpetual state of emptiness.
See, there are many different kind of beings. Those don't stick to coast. These are the most lowest form of consciousness which is there, right? Now, consciousness means like we generally understand there's a one consciousness, there's one God and we all are one. Okay, that might be true. That one God, we are one, everything. But right now, do I feel we are one? That is not true, right? Similarly, there are so many different aspects to this universe. There are different planes, which has been explained by different masters, but they definitely exist. And those who are practicing it, or those who are into that superior consciousness or in superior nature, so they realize these things. Okay. So if we are talking about the spirits who are stuck here, right, they are not able to go beyond that. Basically, it is mentioned everywhere. There's nothing which I'm telling you new, is they have certain desires, you know, to be here, right? Can I tell you one recent experience? So there's a lady in this came to me and she said her mother is here in the house. She's stuck after death, and there is a lot of problem they are facing. So they went like to many places, even to Gurdwara, to all kind of pandits. Different people go to many spiritual places to get deliberated. The soul didn't get liberated. So I said, okay, fine, you will do something about it. So she came with her brother. So I did a small thing. The mother came, you know. She asked me, okay, I'll go, but I need a promise from you. I said, what promise you want? She said, I want my both the kids to get married. I said, what? So I remained quiet. I said, okay. So they were sitting in the other room. So I asked her, what is the issue in your family about marriage thing? Then the sister was elder, she told me I got divorced and my brother is not yet married. He is 30, and she did. This was the biggest desire for your mother, that she wanted both of you to get settled. She said yes. I said, your mother says she will not leave you until then, time both of you get married and settled. So I said, okay, I'll do something. So I went inside. I said, you have to go. I'm not going to give you any promise. Then it was very difficult task for me to make her realize and leave this thing. People, whether they practice or they don't practice, or people who are normal, they are stuck with some kind of a thing. Even while practicing too much of knowledge and things, if it is not penetrated into your consciousness, then you're stuck here. And this woman wanted, their kids to get married. So there are many cases, where I have find these things. The concept of reality is very difficult to understand. That is sure. If I say I understand it, but what I have realized, that till the time I am realizing that I am this couple, I am limited. That's it. I cannot go beyond it. The moment I think, like you said, mantras. You know how mantra works, how I've learned? You can create mantras also.
Yeah.
I have created mantras myself.
Yeah. It's based on your name and something, right?
No. Not though. You're just reading books. That's it. So and if you go to like books, if you play cricket, I can see that. So there is a forward, defense, then backward defense. By learning forward defense, back defense, by reading a sweep shot, can you play a game?
No.
No. So when you were a young boy, did you go to those books, or you just start playing it? So then now there is a helicopter shot. There is not mentioned in it. So it is not about books. Books are only referring to some experiences some great people had. That's it. You can also write books. You can have mantras. Like in Hinduism, they are say that these are matrikas, or these are Varanmala. So there are initially 6 Varanmalas, which are basically the Lord Shiva Shakti reside in all these 6. Like, right? E, U, U. So this is not true. What is my realization? I'm challenging. I'm sorry to say here, like sitting here and talking like that. This is, why? Because I use Hebrew words to check how these energies work. I use Japanese, Mandarin, Chinese. But Chinese alphabets were very stronger than Japanese. You can experiment, you can do, but you can only do these things when you are a master, you become a master of it. Then this book doesn't matter. You go to a place, just one leaf. I put there, I can offer 1 year of offering by just offering one leaf. Whatever this temple, how many people have giving offering, with one leaf, I can make a bigger offering like that. But if you know that play, you decide, you tell initially, my guru used to say, you should chant this mantra for this many lakh time. I give one example. So I met a lady, her name was Shamaji. So Shamaji was a school teacher, never got married. So I can tell you the first encounter with her. So one of my friends, she's the principal, very well awarded, very well known lady also. I don't want to take her name, with a very royal family she's working with. So she called me to meet this lady. So I went to her. So when I went, reached to her house, she was sitting very angry. She was an old woman. So my friend asked her, why you are so angry? Kali is not doing anything for me. So where is the murti? She said, I kept it in the refrigerator. It's in the fridge. I have, locked Ma Kali into the fridge for last 24 hours. I'm not going to give her to eat anything. So I looked at her, I smiled, I said, wow, the kind of devotion and love she had. So then my friend said, oh, please calm down, calm down, calm down. Then please take out the Kali. She opened the refrigerator, took out the Ma Kali Murti and kept it. Okay, I'll give you only 2 kajus, nothing more, Then suddenly, my throat was getting choked. So I was not able to breathe properly. So I said, Shamaji, tell your Kali to please take out your hand, remove my hand from I'm not able to breathe. She looked at me like this. Okay, then this was a small incident happened. Then she had the ability to see hands and say anything.
Like reading palms.
No, she used to see figures and numbers, not palm. She attained this power from one of his masters from Calcutta. Okay, then she helped me. She gave me a coconut. Go and break it. So I broke coconut thoda. Then my finger got cut there. The blood came. I'm telling you everything in very small shortcut. She said she has taken a bali. I said okay. And that time, my energies were not gelling with the Lord Kali. She was very angry with me. So I went and showed my hand to her. So there is 2 stories. I don't know whether I have to tell you both the stories. Both are very interesting.
You can tell both, sir.
Okay.
We have time.
So she looked at my hand, and she pulled my hand and she said, tell me what Lord Shiva told you. I said, what?
The lady.
Yeah, the Shamaji, She told me the exact date, on what date and year I visited Mahakaleshwar Mandir,
In Ujjain.
Ujjain. And there I met Lord Shiva. And she knew everything. And she pulled my hand and she said, if you tell me that, I'll become your shishya. I said, you like my mother. Please don't say this. And Shamaji, you like Yunish? I said, but I'm going to tell you what Lord Shiva told me. She said, you please, I request you. She pallu, that sari pallu thing, she, put like in my feet. Please tell me. I said, I'm not going to tell you what Lord Shiva told me. Then I said, there is a problem, why I have come. She said, yes, there is a problem. She told me, this is one mantra which you have to chant. It was a big mantra which you have to chant for Sawa lakh, 1,25,000 times. And get it done, you will be come out of this problem. I said, okay. So if I
What problem were you facing that Ma Kali was upset with you?
yeah, there was when we practice there, we make a lot of mistakes also.
Okay.
Nobody is perfect. We make mistakes. Then she said, this is going to see, although she wanted to be my shishya. And so there is no shishya and guru. We all are friends. I know something, you know something. So we keep learning from each other. So she said, okay, Sawa lakh mantra, you get it done, you'll be fine. I said, okay. I said, if I do it 10,25,000, she said, that will be great, but it'll take you months to get it done. I said, okay. I said, morning will come again and then I'll show my hand. So morning I came and showed her. I said, how many jobs are there? She said, it's completed. I said, how many? She said, 10,25,000. She looked at me and she said, it is impossible. That how can you do it?
In one night, you finished 10,25,000 jobs.
Yes, we can do in 1 second.
How?
There are ways. Once you know this play, so you don't have to sit. Initially, I told you, and that day, I realized I can do it. So that was the first confirmation I got from her that we can do that. It is not about couple doing it. Everyone can do it. It's not. See, I'm not somebody special. I just know. I just practice a little more. That's it. Okay.
What happened after you met that tantric and that entity? Like after that phase, you definitely would have understood that, okay, now there's a higher reality.
Yeah.
I am assuming that same tantric introduced you to your initial bits of spirituality.
Yes.
You must have been 22, 23.
No, that I guess that time how things folded. I'll explain you. So when I met this tantra, after finishing this, I forgot about him. Never thought about him again because I was busy in my work, my job, things like this. So in between, after that, fall in love with a girl and got married and become a businessman also. So what happened? I was working with a mate with a company. I'll not say the name. So there was a business relationship with this gentleman, right? Whose daughter I got married. Initially we were friends. We then fall in love and we got married. So now the another chapter begins here of a marriage, right? So I wanted to stay in my job. Never wanted to get into business. Like I was not from the business family. So this guy insisted. Why insisted? Because the industry knows, because how much I helped him to, regain the business and whatever it is. Is a big name also in the government industry, my father-in-law. So he told me that there is a huge unit, right? Like the factory. It was like, no, huge unit means it was okay, like 3.5 acre land. It's a factory constructed. I want to give you that and you start doing your business. I said, I don't have money to pay you, right? He said, okay, when I'll work, then all I can pay you, but I'll not want a gift, whatever. So one of his, office person, his general manager, told him to take Kapil to that factory. So we went to the factory. When I saw this factory, I remember something, what happened to me a few years back. So when I was in the job, I was going, my general manager of the previous company told me to go to this area. So I was, having a bike, I was riding bike. So suddenly I stopped on the road. I saw that unit. And I thought that one day I want to buy this. And why I'm getting pulled to that unit. There were many units, And I don't know, there was a sub connect to that. And when I got married, my father-in-law told me to go to the same unit. He gifted me that. You take this. Not gifted means you take this. And this place where I started working, there was a problem already. So I came to know from the staff that this is the one unit which has never, shown any profit. So it has been shut down for many years. When I was there was like such huge elephant grass, big jungle, like difficult to even to enter to the, main roads. So there I had start facing some problems. Then again, I wanted to help because once you got into this, then you have ideas, something is there, something. To rectify that problem, again, I met this guy after so many years.
The tantric.
Yes. And I called somebody else, like his name was Shambhu. So he came, he couldn't help me. He said, I have to call my master. So he said, why don't you come to my place and we'll meet. My guru is coming to, to meet this guy. So I went there and I saw the same person. And I was shocked when he said, how are you, Kapil? Kapil is my old friend. So when this thing again happened, then I thought, I think there is a, some deep connect with this person. So he became my guru. Later on. So this is the way this guy became guru. So then practicing with him, then seeing how these people cheat later on, how they manipulate with the energy.
You mean your first guru cheated?
Yes, because when I got into this, I've written in a book like, how these people manipulate you, how these see, these energies of manipulations only work on those people very easily, very, very easily, who are sensitive towards energies. People who wants to go into spiritualism, they think, oh, this is a great journey. No, the moment you get into this, you become the most vulnerable thing.
Yeah, because to adopt spirituality in your own life, you need to be open to higher realities. That usually means you have an open personality. So if you find a guru initially who you think is your guru, who teaches you techniques, things start happening in your life, your heart opens up even more. That guru is also on his or her own spiritual journey. They might slip, they might use you, they might manipulate you.
See, this guru came into my life, and initially when I went there, so he called me for one small ritual. It was very ritual, not for the general public. It was with very important, people or students, seekers. So he was having a small ritual there. So then there was a prayers going on. There was a Havan Kund, and that's not Havan Kund that Panditji you see. They are very different way of doing things. And there's a Dhuni also and things like that. So I saw people after finishing the prayer, people are talking in certain way, and that who came and what happened and things like this. And during that first that ritual, the thing, even I had a very strong experience. And this guy asked me in front of that, you also had an experience with goddess. And that was the first time I have an experience with the goddess. The first thing which I have see, during the Havan, I saw that the fire, and I see the goddess in the fire, right? And it was so beautiful to see her. Like, she looked at me, and I was amazed to see the beauty of it. And I was quiet. I've never, didn't want to share this experience because this was the first time I was there. So this guy, I have given him a name, Tiloknath. Okay, that is not his real.
The guru.
Yeah. So the Tiloknath came to know that I have seen this. So in front of everyone, he said, Kapil also had an experience with goddess, So what goddess was that? Now I'm realizing after time that these are initial energies, If you have the ability or the God, if you be your channels are open by birth or by any other reason, you can experience that those energies are there in spiritual. Like with the time, if you ask me with this, whatever I have learned today, I'll say there is nothing, no dark and nothing uh, golden or white. See, whatever suits me, it becomes favorable for me.
This is a very Aghori style of thinking.
Yes, yes.
That there's nothing that's good or bad.
Nothing.
So you've clearly had some experience with Aghoris as well.
Yes.
Was it near this phase of your Havan, or was it
No,
way
see,
later?
this happened much later in my life, right? Much later, when I met the Aghori Guru. When then I got into the other sect of practices. So,
You've been an Aghori sadhak?
yes, I was very close to them, and I know like how to do Aghori sadhanas without getting into the places. And with the time I learned, I don't have to go to Shamshan Ghat, I can create here.
Okay.
After the Havan, I realized that these tantrics are doing what? Actually, I thought these guys are very great, doing great, puja and prayers, and they are connected with the God. After 5 years, I realized I left this guy. Why I left this guy is I realized they are in lot of wrongdoings, wrong tantras, not only the physical world, like by manipulating people, but they are using their energies also to control others, like mixing things in the prasad and by spirits, and they go to different places, to catch the spirits of young people, women, and do all kind of stupid things, right, with them, controlling things.
Alive women or dead women?
Dead women. See, life when they physically dead, and what they used to target, how they used to target, which kind of people they used to target. So these are very, very open facts here.
Okay. I'm actually going to cut you short here, so there's too much to unpack.
Yes.
For me, my creative work is my dharma, and I have to give it my 100%. It's just how I look at life.
Okay.
At this stage of my life, this is how I look at it. Okay. This is not as simple as me recording something, becoming more famous and making more money.
Yes.
There is energy and power I put into my art. I'm not able to do justice to this conversation right now. I'm not able to do justice to the life you have lived, which is why we're cutting it here. There's a lot more to unpack with you.
Okay.
Based on the chronology. So I think this is just an introductory episode. Thank you, sir. Kapil, sir. We will be speaking to you very, very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was only the first half of this special 2-part conversation that you're going to experience in this one single episode. The second half gets even grittier. Here we go. Kapil Kumar Bhaskar, sir, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
When I met you the last time,
Right.
I was very, very burnt out, very, very broken.
I know.
I feel like I am a new person, and I was only broken because of being burnt out. I don't think there was really any emotional trauma. There was a little bit, but not significant enough to shake me. Then once I got talking to you, I realized there's a lot to talk to you about.
Right.
So I needed a day like this where I'm in this kind of energy.
No, you are in a perfect energy, in a very divine energy. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you. So you can pick up on these things.
Everyone can pick it. It's not difficult thing. Whosoever in this kind of a practice will know. It's not difficult thing.
Yeah. I tried reading your book, Reminiscences of a
Seeker.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was a lot to take in, and I do recommend the book to everyone.
Okay.
What I will also say is I first recommend that everyone watch the entire first podcast and this podcast and bunch of the ones we're going to do after this as well. Firstly, I want to say welcome back, sir.
Thank you so much. But this book is telling you what you should not be doing. The second book will tell you what should you do, in this practice. And my learnings are only through experiences, not like, going to any school or anything to study any Vedanta or things like this. It's personal experiences which I'm writing.
I think we should pick up right from where we left off.
Okay.
The last story you told us, and I was asking you constantly in that podcast to go chronologically.
Right.
So I think we stopped at roughly about your age 30 phase where you had that experience on the
Yes.
Havan,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Where you saw a bit of a figurine.
Not figure, it's like complete goddess. If you have that eye, you can see the goddess or the deity in the fire. And it is not like a shape. So if you're thinking, oh, it's just like, it's a shape, it's you are imagining, then that is a different thing. But when you are able to see, you can see exactly what she is and how she is and who she is.
Who was it?
This is the image which whatever you see that time is the image of the goddess. She is right there in the fire. As it said, like in Hinduism, it says the fire is the mouth, from where the god and goddesses get the feeding, you feed them through them, or the all the Havan Samagri goes through that. But this is true. What this is my experience has told. This is not only bookish thing, and the fire is a very, very, very key important element, to what do you call it, to whatever you want to gift or offer, it reaches to them. If you practice also something, you will create energy which will take a form. This depends on the kind of mantras you are chanting, or the kind of intention you have, and the kind of a purpose you have.
But isn't it like there is a steady set of deities that you pray to? Saraswati Ma, Durga Ma, Kali Ma. You're saying this is like another set of deities which you can actually create.
This was the first time, after getting initiation from the tantric, the tantric invited me for the most sacred prayers, which like for that kind of a sadhana, the core group can enter into that kind of a sadhana. So I also entered in that kind of a sadhana. So even after the sadhana, all the other disciples were there, and they were like talking, like like as if the movie has over. So this guy, this deity came, or this person came, and this happened and that happened.
How long did the Havan last?
Say generally used to pray for like 2 hours or 3 hours. It's not only praying, but a lot of chantings and dancing also take place. So Havan is one of the thing. The sacred fire is burned at one's corner. Then the prayer was over. Then he spoke, the Kapil also has seen something. I was shocked, how he come to know that while I was doing the Havan, and he was busy in his prayers or dancing and singing. So after the prayer, so he spoke very clearly this thing that he saw something. Then even that thing has given me the strength to believe what I saw was right. It is not what it was my imagination. So what he explained, I saw exactly that. So this gave me the confirmation on this, that what I saw is right. So problem is this: we keep imagining a lot of things, but until unless you get a confirmation by some way,
Right.
then only you can say that whatever I have seen is correct. I've seen many things, but there is no confirmation on anything, right?
Once he confirmed it, what happened?
One confirmed, he was very happy, So you have the ability to see things and that. So he pushed me further into more practices. So this is the first thing, and the first move. In the very first prayer, he gauged like what I can do, maybe I have certain kind of abilities. So then he manipulated me with the time. That what happened.
How did he manipulate you?
See, you think these tantric or these gurus, whatsoever we call like big ashrams and with big teams, and see, for common people like me and you and everyone, who about prayers, we have a different kind of a belief. God is very kind. God will love me. The mother goddess will take care of me. Things like this. We go to God like a child, but their approach are very different. Our approach and their approach is very different. We believe that energy is very kind. It's very supportive to everything, But in this world, everything is possible, People do these goddesses, and like the Hanumanji is very kind God. But if you read a certain kind of a prayers of Hanuman. So Hanumanji will go and destroy your enemy, right? If that
You're saying
person,
there's a tantric approach to praying to
no,
Hanuman.
see, there is a what do you call it? There is a prayer, no? Generally, people pray, but Bajrang Baan. It's like go and destroy my enemy, right? If somebody is enemy to me, for what reason? If whether he is doing better than me, or I am jealous, or he is jealous, the issue is jealousy. Now Hanumanji will go and give him a good bashing, right? So we think like God is very kind-hearted, only kind to me, right? So he or she should do everything for me and destroy the others, right? To make me become,
So how did he manipulate you?
At that time I was doing very well as in my business. And if you are doing well financially also, then you become an important person for them, first thing.
Because you can fuel their
Yeah,
ashram or
yes.
their
One
growth.
first thing, and second, if they manipulate me and show me, this world, so I'll be very closer to them, right? The another thing. Third thing, if you have a certain kind of abilities, which helps them to manipulate others, right, to gain more powers, to bring strength to them, not only on the financial term or the social thing,
But
but
also
in this,
spiritual.
yes, that is the key thing. So we think like in spirituality everything is so sweet. It's not that. It's more worse world than what we live here. And to reach to God is like takes lot of time. It is not easy because these people, not only in the physical form but in the spiritual world, will not let you go out of this world. So there are many stories, how this happened. The last manipulation, I'll tell you more stories about it. About he wanted to attain a lot of power, means energy, through a spirit, right? This spirit, like the spirits have different kind of energies. They are weaker, stronger, as you know. So he wanted to manipulate one spirit who was a naga itself.
A naga.
Yes. So he was not in a physical body. So much later, in my life with him, spending after few years with him. So I ultimately reached to that level where he wanted me to bring this naga to him. So I did that, unfortunately. And he wanted that person to win many battles in other world.
So you began kind of working with him, at least spiritually.
Yes.
You were doing your own sadhana.
No,
You,
he under his guidance.
under his guidance, you were
Right.
doing your own
Right,
practices.
right.
The thing is, when you do these practices, you gain a certain amount of spiritual power
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
So he was attracted to both your money and your spiritual progress that you were making.
Yes.
And he had identified a higher being,
Yes.
which was a naga.
Yes.
And then naga could do something for him.
Yes.
But he used your spiritual advancement to help
Yes.
get the favor of that naga.
Yes. Because he had already had one spirit. His name was Kalvir. Already a very, very old spirit, which he used to use that.
How do you even communicate with these higher beings?
See, the higher beings and spirits, we'll talk, because right now we are talking about spirits, right? So to connect with the spirits, it's not difficult. With the higher being, we need some kind of a purity in ourselves or some kind of a strength to levitate us to that kind of a consciousness. The spirits want more, our help. They want to communicate with us.
Are these ghosts?
So it's like if my father dies, he'll be a ghost for you. For me, he's a pitra, right?
As in a protective
Yes,
spirit.
so that way. So
Got it.
it is not that like if somebody has died in my family, is going to be protecting me. No, they can eat me also, right? So more than this, how to communicate with these spirits or these spirits? They are very simple ways. The only way, if you want to adapt any kind of a technique or something, see, that is a psychological to go for a technique. If you have that desire, to communicate, and you have that belief in yourself that you can talk to them, it'll happen right now. Okay, if there is a fear in myself, I am scared of spirits, supposing I believe they don't exist, how many techniques I apply, it'll not happen, because what I am saying doesn't matter. What actually in me, deep inside me, that matters.
As in, if you emotionally open yourself up to these things, they'll come towards you?
See, not why, because now Ranveer can see things, so I should also see things. Because he can talk like this, I should talk like this. He has become like this, I should. No, it's not. If it is my desire, it has not come from any book, or this desire will make me something, because I'll become somebody. I can talk to my friends.
Right.
Then it'll not happen.
But did he teach you techniques as well?
No, these techniques were nobody can teach you these techniques. See, we all have the same abilities. Some people are able, their abilities are activated by like since birth. Some try it and it activates later on. So, but if you say there's a technique, like I'll have a like, for example, we use word third eye. It's not. I don't have to use a technique. It is only really there. You are using it. I'm not using it.
Okay.
That's it.
But in the ashram, the sadhana that you were doing,
Okay.
that allowed you to connect with these
See,
things more?
okay. See, what happens is when you do these kind of practices, so these are side effects. This will happen automatically. If you say, like, if I'm practicing something, then naturally things will come. For example, I tell you one good example. So this guy gave me certain practices that you should do.
Which was like
Mantras and things like this, have to practice. And so whatever he used to give, he used to tell me, okay, just chant it like 10 mala. That's it. So I used to do 100 malas, I used to love it. I really wanted to, I have a, like, to meet God or love God, whatever. So I still remember, long back, I had a business meeting in Malaysia. So we went there with my wife and everyone. See, then after finishing the meeting, we went to Genting. So there I went to the casino. So I didn't know that something has changed about myself. So we were there for the roulette. I was just standing there. And I don't know, I just put the money and those coins, like money thing, whatever. So I lost it. Then suddenly, second time, there is like my senses start telling me where this is, what number, where the ball is going to stop. I start doing it. You won't believe what happened. Suddenly everybody start copying me and keeping wherever I was, like, putting the money, there was, and this lady starts screaming and shouting. She start abusing me in, I don't know what language. And, thing became so worse there, like wherever I was keeping the money, I was winning, right? And because my wife was there, so she came and she, what happened? Why this woman is screaming at, did you do something? I said, no. Well, I don't know what is this happening. She said, how are you able to do it? I said, I don't know, but I'm able to see that, like, this is happening.
You think this was an outcome of the sadhana you were doing?
Yes. So because why I know this, because I knew that this guy, used to ask, that if you pray like this, you will see numbers and things like this, and you can use it, you can make money like this. He used to talk like this. So then I was like, God, that she said, you should leave the table now, you should. I said, okay. Then I collected the entire money and gave it to that woman. I said, you keep it, whatever you want to do, because I felt somewhere, guilty that I'm misusing my stuff, to create a trouble on the table.
As in, you were attracting money through.
I'm not attracting the money. I'm able to see what number, which color,
Right.
which number. With
You were able to hack the gamble.
Yes.
Got
I
it.
start hacking.
So you felt internally wrong.
Yes. This was not right, because I never wanted these things to happen to me.
But coming back to the ashram,
Right.
I'm sure that basically what you're trying to say is faculties started getting unlocked in your own
Yes.
mind.
This what he told me also. There were people who, like, in the core group, who used to practice certain kind of mantras or whatever he used to teach them, that you will be able to know the number, if you get this number, you can put this money. So all kind of nonsense happened there, I was not there to gain powers or to make money. After having those experience, after meeting that lady ghost, I said there is something more to it, right? Then I become very scared. Then I become so scared that what is going to happen to me after death, right? Then this fear went so big that I wanted to attain that power. I'm telling you the very secret of mine, that where I can leave my body on my desire. You can say this is a fear. Yes, this is a fear. This was a fear initially. that I don't want to die like this and become ghost or become something. So I really wanted to learn the way to how to die, so that I do not get trapped into this kind of a world. So this was my biggest fear. So that is also one of the key important thing of me to jumping into this
As
world.
in, you wanted to have the ability to go about astral travel, which is what they call it. Like your astral body gets out of your physical body.
See, these astral travels are like totally hyped by people, right? People think, oh, I'm traveling, this is not difficult. I don't know why everyone think, somebody is special. Everyone, God has made all of us same, we think we have to do astral travel, if we become little conscious,
Right.
you are connected right where everywhere or anywhere you are wanted right now. You don't have to close your eyes.
Let's go back to the stories.
Yes.
What happened?
So then I came back, then I realized this thing. Then I thought I should not be talking this thing to these guys, to the
What thing?
that this what happened to me in the Ganting, in Malaysia, in this thing. So I remained quiet. Since slowly this practice, we keep meeting in this thing, right? Then he started talking about you have to pure yourself and go into the celibacy, and practice more and more things. See, I celibacy. I went into celibacy for just after having my child, just after 2 years of my 1 year of marriage, 1 or 2 years of marriage. I went into celibacy, right? And for a good number of years because of him, right? And celibacy, then also in celibacy, also, what kind of a celibacy? It's not like not having sex, we call it, right? So there also, the celibacy went so deep, this kind of a feeling went so deep in my dreams also, I was so conscious that I am not supposed to do these things. Then my another ability start growing after doing this. So if you want, I can give you one story about it.
I want to
Okay.
know what the
Right.
outcome was.
Yes.
But when you're saying celibacy as a married person,
Yes.
there was absolutely no
No
physical,
relation, no relationship.
nothing.
I became so fanatic when I used to pray, every day. So I used to start giving around 6, 7 hours minimum every day into my prayers. Start doing Havan every day. If the moment, like in the beginning, if I had a little thing, if wrong, what do you call it? Any wrong thought about anyone, I used to light the matches and burn my thighs. I had to punish
You
myself.
became obsessed with
Yes,
celibacy.
not with the celibacy, with this kind of getting into this world, So I was pulled so strongly into that, like, I was ready to do anything. Why I was doing it, I had no idea. Who was pulling me? Well, I have no idea. I used to burn my legs, my thighs with, burning matchsticks. That how can I can think like this? Then this gave me a different kind of opening, into a different kind of realm or a different kind of a power, which start helping me to start controlling my dreams, Then uh, in my dreams, I used to see what I am doing, what is right and what is wrong.
Like they call this lucid dreaming. But actually, it's probably your astral body which woke up at this point.
See, yeah, I know. You see, you are again and again you're using astral body and this body. See, I know there's one consciousness which resides in all my bodies,
Right.
whether it is in a physical body, it's an astral body, or whatever body you
Got it.
say, right? So my body that will awake or see, it's me. So I don't want to I don't like to use so many words just to make things more complicated or sound very very beautiful. It is something out of the world. I don't like to talk this way. So how this thing helped me, I'll tell you that. One thing is like, obviously, I have to stop thinking about women or sex or things like this. So that is totally off. So how you used to practice? If I have get an idea by looking at a woman, immediately I have to look at her feet. I mean this is the way I used to practice. I used to say, Mother, please forgive me. So I started practicing. So this practicing, one day what happened? So I came from the factory. I was tired. I was just lying down, in my sofa, couch or bed. So immediately I dozed out, like whatever, I have a short nap or kind of a thing, whatever. So I saw a very beautiful girl standing next to me. So at that time, I was not realizing I was in the room or something. So she was wearing a denim jacket, it's long back, that was in the fashion or whatever. She had a very beautiful hair. She came and she stand next to me and she said, "Can I sit close to you?" I said, "Okay." So she came and sat next to me. See, the moment she sat next to me, I could feel the warmth of her body. She, uh, she touched me. Then there is some kind of a idea start coming into the mind. And then immediately, I got a shock of my life. I realized what I am doing, what this nonsense I'm doing, right? And I immediately told her, get out from here, and opened my eyes. That time I realized, like, forget about dreams. Even if a spirit or energy try to, break my vow, whatever I've taken for a certain period of a time or whatever, they can't disturb me anymore now. I'm aware that. And that confidence came from that particular dream. See, what not dreamed at, because why I'm saying it is not dream, because I told you that story also. This woman went to my brother's room. Did I?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is the importance of this story.
Was it the same woman?
Yes, this is the same woman. Then when I said get lost from here, why I'm saying that this was not a dream. Again, I will confirm you, not you. This confirmation is for me, not to convince Ranveer or anyone in this world. This woman, that she went away from there. After a few days, when my brother was in Bangalore, the same day he was supposed to go to Bangalore. So he called me and he said, "Brother, there's some, nonsense is happening with me." I said, "What happened?" He said, "Every night I'm in the hotel, I'm here for a meeting. A woman comes in my room." I said, "What?" She says, "Is it physical?" Like, he said, "No, she's a spirit." And he was very scared. And then he told me exact the sketch. She wears a denim jacket. I said, "Wow, denim jacket has become very famous,
This is the same brother from years ago who used to have that shared dream with you. When
No,
you...
no. That is a friend.
This is another guy.
He's my brother, real
Okay,
brother.
this is your real brother.
Yes, I'm talking
But
about.
was this woman ghost the same woman
No,
ghost?
no.
This
no,
was
no.
also different.
This different because
Okay.
that story was over. Because the tantric guru, he made, he released out, he captured that ghost. I don't know that, right? So this is another spirit which came, and then my brother called me and spoke about this woman. I said, "What?" Then I spoke to this tantric, that this is the problem. Then he told me, the woman you're talking about, that dream, that was not the dream, that she was actually there in your room. And because your brother also, he was traveling, so he had a lot of deo and thing. My brother loved to do a lot of stuff. So she has got attracted to that man, and she went along with this guy because she wanted whatever.
Ghosts also have sexual desires.
Yes. See, why I'm in this physical body? Why? Because I had desires. That's why I've come into this body. If I don't have desire, then why I'll come into this body? So by saying that ghosts also have desire, see, when I am going to die, I'll be also a ghost. Maybe for my kids or for grandkids, I'm going to be a pitra or dada or something. But I'm going to be a ghost for you. Whatever words you want to use depends on you, right?
What was this woman? But it
Sorry?
was this woman, this denim jacket
Right.
woman. Was it a human that had died?
Yes. See, the ghost, most of the spirits you see in our world, like they are like this. But if you say, see, only the ghosts are in human form, no, they are not. They are not. And
What do you mean?
if you think ghost, the word ghost you are using, basically for me, ghost is someone who doesn't have a physical body of this plane.
Sure.
Right? And if you want to know that does ghosts are human-like structure only? No.
There are other kinds of beings.
Yes.
Who was this particular lady? Was it a human?
No, see, she was a human, and that's why she appeared in a human body. She must have passed away because it is not about this one spirit. You'll be surprised every second day, every day almost. I'm like encountering with the spirits. It's like we say, oh, we met some spirits. Spirits are everywhere, right? It's only that whether, well, while driving also, sometime, I met spirits. They come and sit in my car. I tell them, get out from here. While walking, it is everywhere. It is not something great like, oh, there is a spirit. See, those who are into these worlds, these are things are very, 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 very common and nothing great about it. Anybody who's who's sitting or maybe watching you right now, if he's thinking, oh my God, spirits, then tell the gentleman, you are going to become that only. Just wait for a time. That's it.
Do you sense anything in this room?
No, I don't sense a good room, but I sense a thing near your kitchen, that area. And there is a message that you should be in your kitchen. You should, it should be, you should be keep cooking some nice stuff and food. Spirits are there, but they are very happy. So that one message I was getting was, if you want to grow more, keep them happy.
Keep those spirits happy.
See, very simple. People think, oh, some great message. I tell them very few things. You are connected to one little bird, you go and feed that bird. Okay. Like that.
We'll unlock this also in the next episode. Yes. Let's just talk about this story of this lady right now. Right. Sorry, audiences. Even I want to know all these things as much as you do, but we'll come back to this story. Okay. This lady that you spoke about, her intention was just sexual.
See, in the very beginning also I tell you, if don't mind, if you die,
I'm okay, sir. And we can have an open conversation.
Okay. If you die, would you like to be my like, if we are friend, would you like me to be always your friend or not?
Yeah.
Yes. So that means even after your death, you want certain things from this world. Yes or no?
Attachments.
Yes or no?
Yes.
See, we'll talk about these big words from the books, attachment. Even God cannot detach himself from the Shakti. Forget about us. Can Shiva detach himself from Shakti?
Understood.
People just talk detachment. Tell the Shiva to leave Shakti forever. And the moment the Shiva will leave the Shakti, it will become Shav, become nothing. So if he is the father of everyone, or she is the mother of everyone, if I am picking the same drop of water from the ocean, right, I'll have the same qualities. And same qualities I have, what Shiva and Shakti have. So how can I be detached?
Yeah. How did you get rid of that lady? Did you?
Yes, then there was a guy, Tantric Baba, he was with me. He helped me to do these things. But with the time, I asked him how to get over of this thing, from these problems, how to release these souls, because people feel bad and they hate these souls. I never felt bad for them, She would have been a sister or a wife or a daughter of someone. If somebody has a desire, what's wrong? If I and you can have a desire, why a ghost can have a desire? Even she will come like us, in one day, and because she has a desire, she'll take her body. You and me are here because we had desires. That's why we are here. Why to say such things,
We don't need to judge it.
Not judge it. No, this is the fact. There is no judgment.
So that tantric Baba of yours helped capture the spirit.
Not captured, he helped me to release. So, yes, he used to capture souls, which I came to know later on. How I came to know later on is because when I start seeing these spirits, then also I felt like they are also being like me, I'm going to be like them one day. If I want, my desires to be fulfilled, any desire, maybe to become rich, or to have a woman, or to become God, or to become a godly person, why can't they have us?
Right.
They also can have. Then later on, I wanted this guy to help me by this technique, how he really so he teaches me so that in my life become easy, I don't have to call him every time or go to him and ask him, please help me or help me that.
But there is a technique.
See, initially, yes, there there is a technique. But if you ask me today, I need a technique? No, I don't need a technique.
But at that beginner stage,
Yes,
there is a technique.
Yes, there is.
So, and I'm assuming again, it's a set of mantras that you say together.
See, mantras are basically, we use mantras like, mantra, for me, again, we have spoken like, there is a method of doing something, right? When we say mantra is basically what kind of energy we are using, it is like a key, right? It's a combination, you have a lock, have different keys in this. So if you have a right kind of a key, the lock will open. So if you have right combination of energy, right, the lock will open.
Understood.
So you call it mantra or whatever you want to call it.
Is there a particular deity that you prayed to?
Me?
At that beginner level technique, the one that the tantric taught you for
Yes, see,
releasing?
what happens is, if you become a shishya to someone, there is a complete lineage
Understood.
of not only of the deities, even of the gurus. All that will connect to your genetics. We'll talk about it much later, what happens or how it destroys you.
Understood. Very interesting point to stop our first episode, sir.
Okay, sir.
We'll move into the second one. So you're most welcome for this epic podcast, audiences. We are just going to continue this same conversation. You are probably going to see this next episode in a few days. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the first episode, sir. Sorry for the abrupt end.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was our conversation with Kapil Kumar Bhaskar. As you can tell, it wasn't the easiest conversation for me for multiple reasons. But the primary reason being that you don't meet people like this very often. Since I've met Rajarshi Nandi, I'm always on the lookout for people who have practiced some form of Tantra, who've had occult experiences because of their practice. There's a part of me that feels blessed to have met Kapil Kumar Bhaskar for the sake of my own journey. That perspectives like this exist within the world of Tantra. But my biggest blessing is that I get to share these aspects of my journey, these people that I'm coming across with you, the viewer. I know so many of you are fascinated by the world of Tantra because of our Rajarshi Nandi episodes. Please let me know what else you'd like for me to discuss with Kapil Kumar Bhaskar, sir. He will be back on TRS. He will be going through the comment section. So leave your messages in the comments below. TRS, Ranveer, and Kapil sir will be back very soon.